Well, hello everybody. Today we have The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. If this is your first time here, we're so glad to have you, and if you've been here before, we're so glad to have you back. Well, when we left off with the adventures of Thorinus, we were still in the midst of training up our skills. As you can see the camera slowly doing this weird pan because I have not moved the mouse in too long. But we were in the midst of training Thorinus' skills in the art of the spear for the purposes of increasing our health. For some reason, if you get good with a spear, you'll have more health. That's just how Morrowind works, I guess. But at any rate, we've been training that up for the last couple episodes, and I mentioned in the previous one that I was going to do some more training, but off camera, so as not to bore everyone significantly. And the fruits of Thorinus' labor have produced results. We will go into the menu here, and we have a skill increase ready. So, we're currently at level 3. We are at 11 out of 10 for the skill increase, and if you look closely, you will see that we have a ×5 in endurance. And interestingly enough, we also have a ×5 in intelligence that was not there previously. And so, this of course has a logical answer as to why the intelligence is also that high. So, I will paint you the picture as to what Thorinus did. So, he devised a plan to quickly increase the spear skill, and that was to find a skill trainer. It would go by far faster and with far less effort to simply pay someone to train him in the art of the spear. But of course, being new to Morrowind, he does not know where to look, but he had some ideas, and so, being in Balmora, as we left him off in the Southwall Corner Club, he decided to ask around, and so, having been around Balmora a couple times, he first decided to go to the weaponsmith, who he had previously robbed. He was not a trainer in spear, and so next he decided that the Balmora Fighters Guild might provide the answers necessary. And so he made his way in and asked around enough times until he found someone who trained spear. Cannot remember her name, but she's down in the basement, and she was able to train spear. And so Thorinus knew where to go to train. But training is rather expensive in Morrowind. I mean, even for these 5 level skills here on the miscellaneous skills, it still costs about 50 gold per level. It costs about 10 gold per level that you have. And so, for example, this block skill, to raise it, it would cost about 50 gold. And this spear skill would cost around 290 gold. Of course, this changes based on your fatigue level, but the general principle applies. And since Thorinus has a spear skill in the 20s, it would cost over 200 gold for each level. So he needed to find somewhere to get gold. And this is where part 2 of the plan comes into play. Thorinus used his brand new, well, new to him at least, master level alchemical equipment, the alembic, the calcinator, the mortar and pestle, and the retort that he, what's the word we'll use? We'll say, relieved them from the Caldera Mages Guild. He used those to create potions of fatigue, restore fatigue, and restore health. So he went back to that healer down in the Vivek Canal Works, that Khajiit healer, and bought all of the salt rice and small kwama eggs he could carry, and in many cases more than he could carry, and then just made 1,000,000,000 potions on the spot. And then once he had a suitable amount of gold, he went to go train back in Balmora, in the mages, in the Fighters Guild. This didn't quite get his level increase in endurance to ×5, so he went to the temple in Balmora. And at the very least, the Imperial Cult temples back in Valen Wood would offer healing services to the sick and those afflicted by the 5 Years' War between Elsewhere and Valen Wood that he grew up near. And so he posited that perhaps the temple here in Morrowind would do the same, and his assumption was correct. There was a merchant and priest inside the temple who sold marshmallow and wickweed, which he recognized to be alchemical ingredients to create restore health potions. So he did that, sold the potions around town to gather up all the gold for the training, and then got the training to the point where his spear is now at a rating of 29, and it's a ×5 increase in endurance for this level. And truly, this shows how easy it is to make great potions far above your own ability when you have master level equipment worth more than you are. This is something that, of course, makes sense when you think about it, but it had never really come up in Thurinus' lifetime that he would have such high-level equipment available to him. You know, being a smuggler, you don't really have access to the nicest facilities a lot of the time, and perhaps when he was in the Dark Brotherhood back in Cyrodiil, he did not truly understand the magnitude of the equipment he was learning on. Or maybe some of the speakers, sanctuary leaders, they did not give him the best equipment for whatever reason. But at any rate, we are now able to sleep in this bed and take our level up to level 4. It's 7 a.m. We'll just get a couple hours of sleep. We'll say 4, sleep in a little bit till 11 a.m. And we have ascended to level 4. It's all suddenly obvious to you. You just have to concentrate. All the energy and time you've wasted, it's a sin. But without the experience you've gained, taking risks, taking responsibility for failure, how could you have understood? And so we will take our ×5 intelligence, getting that up to 60. We'll take the ×5 endurance, getting that up to 42. And we will take a ×2 in strength, getting that up to 32. I would have liked to get a higher strength increase, but we'll take what we can get. The important one right now is endurance, and to a lesser extent intelligence, because this raises our health, and this raises our magicka. We will accept that, and now we are level 4, and our health is now 41. So that's good. The higher our endurance is, the higher the health gain per level is. So it makes sense to raise this, so that when every time we level up, we gain more health. And by the time we might be, say, level 10, if we continue to train our endurance, we'll be able to gain a lot of health per level, and then we will be quite the hardy individual indeed. But at any rate, we need to get out of this rain. Let's get over to the South Wall Corner Club and see if Sugar Lips Habasi has any jobs for us. Or perhaps we can look for advancement.
I take it you want something.
I don't.
Well, what is it?
It's still hilarious to me how much shorter I am than her. Let's see.
You want something from me?
Ugh, disgusting.
Are you good? Do you like me or not? Alright, well, let's check. So, we need Agility 30, Personality 30, which we have. And we need one of these skills at 30 and 2 skills at 5. So we are certainly there. So we can ask for an advancement as long as we've done enough jobs.
Warmly greeted, friend. Welcome.
We should do more jobs for our brother thieves. So let's ask about jobs. Raylan Lalo died recently, but left a bottle of vintage brandy. It's in Lalo Manor. Bring this brandy to Habasi. He's dead, so he does not need the brandy. He lives on the northwest side of town, up on the hill. So, we need to find Lalo Manor, then. Before we leave...
Today's your lucky day. So let's hear it.
Let's see, we have plenty of lockpicks. We have 4 probes. That should get us in. No problem. So we gotta get through the rain. This is loud and obnoxious. And I'm sure it's it's not fun to, be in the rain with wet leather armor. So let's get up to the northwest side of town as soon as possible. This is southwest, so we need to go up the hill here, like Habasi said. And then we'll get up and find Lalo Manor. These are guard towers, if I recall correctly, so we need to be careful of these and not be in plain sight if we're breaking and entering. Okay. So, is this Lalo Manor? Got a guard there and just some townsperson there. This is Teravel Manor, so that's not what we're looking for. That leads to the guard tower, that leads to the guard tower, but this is a unique building, yes. And this is Lalo Manor. This has a lock level of 30. It'd be kind of aggressive to go in right through the main entrance in broad daylight with people around. So hopefully there's an alternate entrance. Let's check around back here. No. Well, maybe if we get up on those stairs and like jump up to there, perhaps. Let's see. All right. Yeah, there is. Let's use our acrobatics. All right, and now we're up here. This has a higher lock level, funnily enough, but we are certain to be unseen here. So let's pull out. We'll probably want the Master's Lockpick for this because this is a higher level lock compared to our skill, which is only 22. So we'll wait for our fatigue to regenerate. And once it does, we will begin attempting to pick the lock. Let's get this chameleon spell ready. Actually, we might get Moon Shadow ready. Let's get Moon Shadow ready. Because if we come in upon somebody, then that might not be good. Let's begin picking the lock. Got it. Alright, great. Load up Moon Shadow here and enter. Okay. Seems empty. Oh, I'm so loud. These footsteps are really loud. Still unseen. Oh, there's a dead body. Okay. Let's do chameleon. Okay. Okay, there's no one here. Great. So here's this guy. Ooh, he's got a lot of expensive jewelry on him. He doesn't need that. I know that much. Where's the brandy? Habasi said he had it on him, but it's not here. We're just gonna strip this guy completely naked. That's a long sword. I don't need that. Okay. So I found the body of Raylan Hlalo. The vintage brandy. Okay, it's in Hlalo Manor. Okay. That is my fault for misunderstanding. It's probably just going to be one of these. So that's matzah. These are just pitchers. These are jugs, bottles, bottles. Vintage brandy. Perfect. Okay. Let's see what's going on in here. All sorts of valuable alchemical stuff in here. By valuable, I mean cheap, readily available stuff, but beats having to pay for it at a shop. Even though I can immediately, make my money back. Okay. So I'm about, I have one carry weight left. I could get all this salt rest, and then it might be over encumbered, unfortunately. Nope, we're still at the encumbrance limit. But I'm gonna wager that we can't really grab anything else. Is there anything cheap? Well, let's see. Ashiam has Fortify Intelligence and Fortify Strength. Interesting. Chokeweed restores fatigue. Good to know. Yeah, I now have the second alchemical ingredient unlocked because of the alchemical training that I did that got my intelligence to ×5. Racer Plumes does levitate. Interesting. Scuttle does restore fatigue and fortify fatigue. Okay. These common shoes are not... They do not make sense for me to carry those. So I will drop it. And we will recast Chameleon. And make our way out of here. We'll go back up through that top entrance. I slipped up there unseen, and we can slip out unseen as well. Plus, it's already unlocked. So I don't have to waste uses of a lockpick to get out of there. So that would be this door right here, I believe. Yes. Okay. And now... Oh. Well, unfortunately, we are stuck here, it would seem. I do not have the ability to jump out of here. Which is funny. Okay. Well, what we could do, we can eat some racer plumes and hope they give me levitate. I don't know if it gives you the first two now. Well, let's try it. Nope, it only gives you the first one, unfortunately. So my willpower is drained for a little bit. And we're back. Okay. So we're gonna have to figure out another way out of here. Yeah, I think this... Oh my goodness, there was a struggle here. What the heck? Was he like attacked in his sleep or something by like the Morag Tong? Oh, there's another thing of vintage brandy. He's got... Oh my goodness, yeah, I could sell that for sure. My acrobatics is now at 48. Getting a second bottle of vintage brandy is great. What the hell? Who's that? Uh, I'm just gonna walk away like nothing happened. I have no idea what that was. I think she is not paying attention, didn't see me open the door. I have no idea what she's doing in this house when there's just a dead man in there, and there was like a massive struggle in the room right above her. We'll just get out of here, I guess. Okay. Interesting. Well, we have 2 bottles of vintage brandy now. We could sell one of them for a pretty tidy profit. And hopefully we get some more nice rewards for completing that quest. It's still raining, which is annoying. Although it does look pretty nice. You know, the rain coming onto the Odai River there, coming through town. It's pretty. Balmora is a beautiful place, and I'm glad to be spending time here. But let's not dilly-dally for too long. We need to get back over to the South Wall Corner Club. And provide Habasi with the bottle of vintage brandy. We'll only say that there's 1. We won't say that we actually found 2.
You've got the better of me. Go ahead.
How may I help you?
Because she might want both of them and then give me a terrible reward. She only asked for 1 bottle of brandy. I have the vintage brandy. Oh my goodness, I got 1,000 for that, and I have an extra bottle worth 500. Or did she take both bottles? Ah, I have another one. Wow, there you go. Cool, so I am going to make a nice profit. Unfortunately, I think most of the merchants are out of gold because I made them all buy Restore Fatigue and Restore Health Potions. She has 250 now, but you can see all the Restore Fatigue Potions in her inventory that I sold her. I forced her to buy, we'll say that. But we can sell her another 8 here. I will say 9. We could go for 10 here. Nope. We'll go for 9 and then try and like bring her price up. We'll just see what the maximum number of gold is. There you go. 236 gold for that. That's a good deal. Especially when you consider a single marshmallow and a single wickweed cost 2 gold together. If that. And we sold her like 8 of those potions. So we have 1,500 gold to work with here, which I think is very nice. And we have vintage brandy to sell to someone, worth a solid 500 gold. We'll see if the Council Club wants to buy it. I previously sold them some potions, but perhaps they will want that. If they have the money, of course.
Leave me.
Okay. I was not going to speak to you, but go off. Banor
Tell your
Saron.
friends about this place.
Barter, you have 350 gold. Oh, I could buy some of my potions back. We'll sell the vintage brandy. Oh, that doesn't get me a very good price at all, because my fatigue sucks. So we'll wait for a little bit and hopefully raise our fatigue through the time-honored tradition of just wait, and then we'll get a better starting price than 179 gold. Alright, let's speak to you again. Vintage brandy, 181. That did basically nothing. We'll try and get you up to 200. No. We'll just start working our way down. This guy's not taking a deal here. He hates me now because I kept on trying to barter with him. Alright, well, at any rate, we have 1,700 gold. That's a good amount. You know, I'm feeling pretty good about where we are at the moment. I think it might be time to return to our old friend Caius Cosades and see what he has to tell us. Because his orders previously, let's find them. Let's look at orders here. So signed on, gain skill and experience, go out on your own, look for freelance work or trouble, then when you're ready come back and I'll have orders for you. I think it's about time we come back. We're level 4. We are making progress in the guilds. Well, let's see if we can qualify ourselves for an update in the Thieves Guild now. Let's go talk to Habasi one more time, and then we'll go back to Caius.
So let's hear it.
How do you do?
You're just in the way. I don't know how I'm supposed to get by you here. Sir, thank you. Do I qualify for advancement? Yes, I am now Thorinas the Black Cap. Wonderful.
Good friend, this is an honor.
You just, like, why are you standing in the complete middle of just 100% in the way, and you are too.
What's this all about?
That's frustrating. Well, hey, the rain's finally stopped. It's 5 p.m. Let's talk to Caius Cosades. See what he has for us.
Outlander, or go away.
I'm going away. I did not stop. Everyone hates me, and I don't know why. I don't know what I did to deserve this, other than being a foreigner and the wrong race.
Something from me?
I do want something from you, Caius. I'm here to discuss my orders. Ready for orders? Good. Go talk to Hasfat Antibolus at the Balmora Fighters Guild. Ask him what he knows about the Nerevarine secret cult and the 6th House secret cult. You'll have to do him a favor first. Probably an ugly favor, but do it. Then get the information from Antibolus and report back to me. By the way, Hasfat is a student of Morrowind history. Take the chance to get a little education. And I have a few history books in here, help yourself. You're welcome to them. No point in being a part of history if you're too ignorant to understand it. So, let's find these books he's talking about. I assume it's this one on the floor here. The War of the First Council. How long is this? This is reasonable. Alright. The War of the First Council. This account by the imperial scholar Agrippa Fundilius is based on various imperial and Dunmer sources and written for Western readers. The War of the First Council was a First Age religious conflict between the secular Dunmer houses, Dwemer and Dagoth, and the orthodox Dunmer houses, Indoril, Redarin, Dres, Halalu, and Telvanni. The First Council was the first pan-Dunmer governing body, which collapsed over disputes about sorceries and enchantments practiced by the Dwemer and declared profane by the other houses. The secular houses, less numerous but politically and magically more advanced, and aided by Nord and Orc clans drawn by promise of land and booty, initially campaigned with great success in the north of Morrowind, and occupied much of the land now comprising Redarin, Vardenfell, and Telvanni district. The Orthodox houses, widely dispersed and poorly organized, suffered defeat after defeat until Naravar was made general of all house troops and levies. Naravar secured the aid of nomad barbarian tribesmen and contrived to force a major battle at the secular stronghold of Red Mountain on Vardenfell. The secular forces were outmaneuvered and defeated with the help of Ashlander scouts, and the survivors forced to take refuge in the Dwemer stronghold at Red Mountain. After a brief siege, treason permitted Naravar and his troops to enter the stronghold, where the secular leaders were slain and Naravar mortally wounded. General slaughter followed, and houses Dwemer and Dagoth were exterminated. Naravar died shortly thereafter of his wounds. 3 of Naravar's associates among the Orthodox houses, Vivek, Omalexia, and Sothis Sil, were succeeded to control of the recreated First Council, renamed the Grand Council of Morrowind, and went on to become the God Kings and immortal rulers of Morrowind, known as the Tribunal or Almsivi. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, let's go down to the Fighters Guild before it gets too late here, and we'll see what this Antibalus fellow asks of us.
Make it quick, Bosman.
My athletics skill has increased to 14. Lovely. Alright, Fighters Guild. We were just here getting training.
So what do you want?
I'm here to talk to Antibalus. Alright. We will make our way down. I remember seeing him. He's in this back room here. I remember seeing him when I was receiving training. So this fella right here.
What's this about?
She's the woman who I got the spear training from. As you can see, yep, spear, it costs 315 gold, which is a lot of gold. Hasfat Antibalus. Hello. Good day, Therinas. So you're with Caius, eh? And Caius wants information. Of course there's a this for that involved. I require a favor first, and then I'll tell you what you want to know. There are Dwemer ruins nearby called Arkingthand. I need you to run over there and find me a little cube with a circular design and some symbols on one side. It's called a Dwemer puzzle box. Bring me back the Dwemer puzzle box, and I'll tell you what you want to know. The little cube I'm looking for is about the size of a fist, maybe a little bigger. It will be made of a coppery metal with a circular design and symbols on one side and some lined marks on the other sides. That's all I want, that little cube. So where is this Arkingthond? The old Dwemer ruins at Arkingthond are extensive on the surface and underground. Head south out of town past the Siltstrider port, then cross bridges east over the Odai River. At the signpost, head north towards Caldera. Immediately on the right, see a signpost for Molag Mar. Turn right and head uphill on an old road to cross an ancient Dwemer bridge over Foyada Mamea. The entrance to Arkingthund is on the east side of the Foyada, south of the bridge. Turn a crank on a pipe nearby to open the doors. Okay? So let's see. We gotta travel south out of town. And then the Foyada, wherever that is. And then we'll go find the road to Molag Mar, and then there's a bridge that we have to look out for that crosses the Foyada. That's like the little valley thing. Alright.